Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. We are about to begin our session titled How Pakistan Can Capture Its Share of the $2 trillion AI Market. The speakers are Faisal Aftab, Uwais Barlas, Fiza Amjad, and the moderator is Dr. Basit Riaz. Over to you, Dr. Basit Riaz.
All right, can everyone hear me? Loud and clear? Okay, perfect. So thank you, everyone, for being here. We're all glad to be here. We're going to make a very interesting, interactive discussion here. So before I do the introductions, I want to set the tone for today's discussion. So we stand on the brink of history with two of the greatest and most groundbreaking technological shifts: artificial intelligence, AI, and blockchain-backed digital assets like digital currencies, Bitcoin, which are not just unfolding in front of our eyes, but are also fast accelerating towards a future worth tens of trillions of dollars. And I repeat, tens of trillions of dollars. We're not talking about just a few $billion, but tens of trillions of dollars. So when I was framing the topic for this discussion, I was like, how should we make it relevant today? So the question naturally comes, can Pakistan claim its share from this big or great or massive transformation that's going to take place? Or we are just going to be bystanders just watching from the edges? See, there's a history to it. We missed the dot-com boom. A lot of us know that as the dot-com burst or bubble. But it was that dot-com boom which led to the greatest companies of our times, the Googles of the world, the Amazons of the world, like companies that have changed and transformed our lives. And then, fast forward 10 years after the dot-com boom, the mobile broadband that changed everything along with the smartphones, we missed that as well. Like when the social media networks took over the world, when the Apple Store came about, when the Android Play Store came about, and there were people, especially in the Silicon Valley or in the West, they created those apps which billions of downloads took place, and everyone was taking advantage of that. The YouTubes of the world came around. So the idea is the technological shift that's happening right now is bigger than what we have ever seen before. Like some people say that the impact of that will be greater than that of electricity and internet combined. And the reason it becomes very relevant today is that unlike the technologies of the past, AI and blockchain represent the most democratized technologies of our times. And why do I say that? Because today, all of you, every individual in this room has access to these large language models, which would have otherwise cost you hundreds of millions of dollars to make. They've been open sourced by the likes of Meta, and they're freely available. All you need is a good enough internet connection. Yes, I know that can be a challenge in Pakistan at times, but still, if you can manage that, a laptop or a cloud account, pay-as-you-go model, and you can start building some really, really powerful applications on top of that. So the building blocks are there, but are we ready for this thing? So I don't think I could have assembled a better panel than the one that we have. These folks, I'm going to do an introduction one by one. They are not only actively working in this space, in AI, some are investing in AI, others are building on top of blockchain, and others, and one of our panelists is actually helping build that resource gap that exists. So without further ado, let me start with my first panelist, Mr. Faisal Aftab. He, as we know, those of you who have followed Shark Tank Pakistan, we have a shark on the panel. He is now the TV guy, everybody's talking about it. So he's made some, but other than being a shark, he's a prolific investor, one of Pakistan's most prolific venture capitalists. Some of the companies that he has invested in have gone on to raise $500 million in equity and debt financing. And these are companies mostly focused on Pakistani market. So that's a massive thing. Faisal's one other quality that we'd like to take advantage of in this discussion is that he was one of the earlier believers in Bitcoin. He's made, I'm sure he's made a fortune. He never tells me me about that. But we would like to hear his thoughts on how, what ticked for him and how others can learn from him. So thank you, Faisal, for being here. I also have a very dear friend of mine, Awais Barlas. Awais has, years of experience working with technology companies, Teradata, IBM. He's now an entrepreneur. He's done multiple successful companies. One works with advanced analytics, Ascend Analytics. They are servicing some of the global clients, and they've done really well. And Dow PropTech. And this is a very, very interesting company where they are basically tokenizing developmental real estate projects, and something that could be extremely valuable for Pakistanis here, how we can build on top of the technology that Awais has. So Awais, thank you for joining us as well. And last but not the least, Fiza. So Fiza Amjad is an entrepreneur. She is the CEO of Atom Camp and co-founder, and where she is basically training, it's an edtech platform where they're training the young graduates in digital skill sets, advanced technologies. Because see, if we plan to do something big in AI and blockchain and future technologies, we need to have the skill set. So that's where she comes in. So thank you, Fiza, for being here. So how are we going to start and this discussion is that we'll have all the speakers give their opening statements regarding the topic and how they can relate to what they have done in the past. And after that, we're going to make it more interactive. At some point, we're going to take questions from the audience as well. So let's start with Faisal.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on a panel with you, Dr. Wasit, and everybody else here. And I'm glad it's in my home city, Islamabad, so I didn't have to commute for a change. So I think I'll kind of set the context of what's happening. A lot of the things that are happening appear very random to people, but the reality is all this has happened in the previous cycle. This took place between 1914 and 45, where you had basically a change of transition of the reserve currency from the pound to the dollar. And also the US was disrupting the British Empire by getting technologically more advanced, which was called mechanization and the Industrial Revolution at that time. Fast forward to the year 2000 roughly, and the same effects started taking place. You had the rise of China as potentially a challenger in the system, which is a lot more evident today, obviously, that it's a multipolar world. There is a challenge to the US dollar as a reserve currency. These things take years to play out, but that phenomenon is there. But the other element that's key also is that technology is the disrupting factor now, where technology, which was very nascent in the late 90s, is become effectively the dominant force in our world. And the case in point for that would be if you take the highest index in the world, which is the S&P 500's US stock markets index. If you went back 20 years ago, most of the market cap was built by brick and mortar companies. Today, it's basically the Magnificent Seven that make up about 40% of the market cap of the largest index. So it should kind of indicate, and the richest people also now are tech entrepreneurs versus Jack Welch. And so there's a transition that's taken place. We're all getting the memo now. So coming to the topic of today's topic, to me, AI is probably the most profound change since the invention of the nuclear weapon, or when they split the atom. I think it's going to have more profound implications for people. In terms of what's happening at the blockchain level and at AI, the artificial intelligence level, this is the fourth iteration of the internet. You're seeing a structural change to the back end of the internet. So until now, you were seeing improvements of your front-facing UI, whether it was on a desktop, on a mobile phone. Now the whole back-end infrastructure changes, where money is merging with the internet, so you have tokenization for assets, value, a lot of what Awais is doing in the real estate sector. But the most important component of blockchain, apart from the payments element, is locking of data. So today we live in a trust-based internet. So let's say Dr. Basit could have a profile, and then there's 15 other profiles, so we have to kind of guess which one is correct. So we move from a trust-based to a truth-based. Once all this data that's been effectively big tech has been fishing on you for the last 20 years from WhatsApp and your social media behavioral patterns, all that has to get locked, authenticated with each individual's verification. And then that's when AI uses correct data and then starts to thrive. So I'll end it there. We'll talk further, but just to set the context.
Oh, thank you, Faisal. Very comprehensive introduction on that. So, Wes, now taking further from what Faisal has mentioned,
So, thank
like
you
to
so
hear your
much.
thoughts on it.
Thank you so much, Faisal, for doing this. And सबसे पहली चीज़ तो ये है कि जब हम लोग पुरानी टेक्नोलॉजीज़ के ऊपर बात कर रहे थे, इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट ब्लॉकचेन या हम लोग बिग डेटा के ऊपर बात करें या इंटरनेट के ऊपर बात करें, तो ये सारी चीज़ें जो थी काफ़ी डिस्टेंट थी लोगों से. सो इसेंशियली व्हाट वी वर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड वाज कि एक बहुत बड़ी कैपिटल आपको शुरू में चाहिए था ताकि आप ये सारी चीज़ें एक्वायर कर सकते, एंड देन यूड बी एबल टू वर्क ऑन इट. What the beauty of AI is, जिस तरह बासित से भी बात कर रहा था, it's become very very democratized. कि हर बंदे के पास यहाँ पे access है to be able to do any kind of AI work, उसके ऊपर implementation या research, वो सारा काम आप कर सकते हैं. The biggest problem right now that I see, or the gap that I see right now is कि जब मैंने AI बोला तो by just show of hands, can you tell me कि हर किसी के किस के दिमाग में ChatGPT आया? Right. So we can clearly see that we're pegging everything with ChatGPT, which is just one use case of AI. Right. So किसी भी चीज़ को अगर आपने समझना है तो उसकी कोर में जाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. If I talk about Basit is a PhD from Cornell, so he understands the core of what he's doing. Faisal is in fundraising and he's run multiple companies. If you talk to him about any kind of business, he'll tell you कि मैंने उसको पीछे क्या-क्या पढ़ा है. When I got into real world asset tokenization, पहला एक साल मेरा सिर्फ पढ़ाई के ऊपर लगा था. Essentially trying to understand the fundamentals of tokenization. Loves तो बहुत अच्छा है, blockchain है तो बड़े अच्छा सुनने को बड़ा अच्छा लगता है. It sells really well as well. But we need to understand कि इसके core values हैं क्या, ये problem exactly solve क्या कर रहा है. Just because AI is a buzzword right now, we don't need to just jump the bandwagon. We need to understand कि इसके अंदर से हमारे problems कौन से solve होंगे. So पहले क्या हो रही थी, कुछ टेक्नोलॉजीज ऐसी थी जो कि ब्लॉकचेन की अगर हम बात करें तो a lot of people would say कि this is a solution looking for a problem, but that's not the case with AI. AI के अंदर ये कि आपकी रोजमर्रा की जो चीजें हैं वो AI के थ्रू सॉल्व हो सकती हैं. Something as simple as just replacing Google with ChatGPT, right? कम्युनिटी पुलिसिंग से लेके आप अपने कंपनी के पूरे CEO को अगर आपने एक AI बॉट बनाना है, ये सारी चीजें मुमकिन है. क्या वो आज करने की जरूरत है? It's a rhetorical question. You don't need to do it right now. But if you think about it, आप अपनी ज़िंदगी के अंदर रोज़मर्रा की चीज़ों को अगर आप mundane tasks को अगर आपने उनको ऑटोमेट करना है, अपनी लाइफ के अंदर कुछ स्ट्रक्चर लेके आना है. I'm not even talking about at an enterprise level. मैं personal level के ऊपर बात कर रहा हूँ. You start using these things and then you'll be able to implement those at a very macro level, which is going to give you a piece of the $2 trillion or $10 trillion market that we have. So rather than trying to solve the problem or accepting this as a problem statement, accept this, that we need to learn AI right now, and then we work towards, getting a piece of it. So that's my 2 cents.
No, excellent point, and especially very relevant as a follow-up to Fiza, because without learning and understanding AI, what AI truly is, you can't really build onto that, right? People like us who've been working in AI or who've studied AI at the graduate school levels, what we feel is that, when I usually talk about it, I assume that everyone in the audience really knows what LLMs are, but that's really not the case, right? So Fiza, how do we prepare people for this future? You're already helping, and I'd like to share your thoughts on it. And what are the challenges that you've faced on this?
Thank you, Basit. Am I audible for everyone? Okay. Firstly, thank you for coming here and listening to us. Basit, there's a huge skill gap, and you know what skill gap does? Skill gap stifles growth because it blocks innovation. Now, I want to talk about 2 kinds of skill gap. So one, there is technical skill gap, which I'm not sure कि मैं कितना उसे press करूँ कि how highlighting it should be an emergency in the country. We are producing, do not quote me on this, but approximately 25 to 35,000 CS graduates in the country every year. That's a lot of number. अभी मैं बाकी degrees की बात नहीं कर रही. उसमें से आपके लिए 1 or 2% from top 2 to 5 universities उनको jobs मिल जाती हैं, and their aim is to get out of the country, and they do that. बाकी जो good talent पीछे रह जाता है, जो for some reason they cannot get out of the country, they are here. Now they need upskilling because the industries I go and meet tech industries and other industries, and they tell us कि हमें और resources लगाने पड़ते हैं to train them further in all those technical things that they want them to work on. Correct? So एक तो technical skills हो गई. Then there is another skill gap, which is a soft skills gap, and there is a professional development skill gap. You know, जिस तरह फैसल साहब ने भी बोला, AI का जो अब revolution आ रहा है, this is here to stay, right? But you need to understand AI, of course, is all about algorithms, but it's a lot about how to think about the problem. You know, the art of thinking, that's what's data science, that's AI. जब आप जॉब्स पे जाएंगे तो जो आपका बॉस होगा वो आपको प्रॉब्लम देगा. ही विल नॉट टेल यू हाउ टू सॉल्व दैट प्रॉब्लम, एंड दिस इज द ट्रेनिंग दैट टेक्स years, by the way, to actually get that aptitude, those cognitive skills, those problem solving, logical things, to to have them and to innovate a solution for that particular problem. So that sense is missing, and So I run Atom Camp. अब Atom Camp क्या करता है? Atom Camp upskill करता है in AI, in data science and all the related fields under umbrella of AI. But उसके साथ we focus strongly on professional development and logical thinking and problem solving skills. That is because you need to think creatively, innovatively in order to solve these things. Now इससे बाद से दो चीज़ें और निकलती हैं which I want to highlight. Number one is that there is lack of digital infrastructure, and we all have been a victim of it. Of course, connectivity is issue, but चलें उस पे अगर हम बात नहीं कर रहे. If you all know what AI is, AI तो आगे की बात है. A lot of things that demand solutions they demand a lot of consolidated data, right? Data पे machine learn करती है, and that's how you get into the AI strategic decisions or solutions, right? अब वो data कहाँ से आए? Pakistan has this incredible opportunity because we are so many. We have so much data. We need data centers. We need infrastructure. We need data management structure. Structured data किस तरह आएगा? Consolidate कैसा होगा? Pipeline क्या होगा data का? So we need to have this infrastructure in place, which of course we need support from government sector and private sector to bring together and do that. Number one. And number two, अभी मेरा background urban management and development से, and a lot of what we do at Atom Camp is linked to how cities are affected by what we do, how we train ourselves, what's the technological upgradation, what the city is going through. और इसमें एक बात मैं करना चाहती हूँ कि जब आपके पास वो इकोसिस्टम ही नहीं होगा for startups or students to practice to get their AI models to run from the local data, तो वो स्केल अप नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो वो आगे की ग्लोबल मार्केट में कैसे जाएंगे? You know, they lack that expertise, they lack that what do you call it, exercise that they need to do. So काफ़ी fronts पे हम काफ़ी जगह gaps मौजूद हैं, and we need to fill that up.
Thank you, Fiza. So I agree with many of the points that you've highlighted. So I run an AI software company where primarily I'm hiring for people from Pakistan, Islamabad, and most of my clients, in fact, all of my clients are US-based clients. And one of the challenges that I've seen is that even when you hire from the very best of educational institutes, 4.0 GPAs, unless you do the hand-holding, and that's a dilemma, unless you do the hand-holding, some of these young minds are not ready for solving the problems. And they also stuck in many ways कि जो हमें एक थिंकिंग चेंज करने की ज़रूरत है कि जिस तरह टेक्नोलॉजी बदल रही है, ये नहीं हो सकता कि आप ग्रेजुएट हो जाओ या आपने PhD कर ली. मैंने 2012 में PhD की थी, लेकिन आई मेड दिस वन थिंग एज अ हैबिट कि अगर मैं हर महीने में एक ऑनलाइन कोर्स नहीं ले रहा तो देन आई एम नॉट अप टू स्पीड, और शायद मुझे ज़्यादा लेने की ज़रूरत है. एंड वन कुड से कि यार PhD के बाद कौन पढ़ता है, बट दिस इज़ द माइंड सेट दैट वी हैव टू चेंज कि अनलेस, स्पेशली एनी ऑफ यू guys who are computer science graduates and working in this field, you have to learn every day, every month, because without that, whatever you've learned is going to be obsolete. So this this thing has to change. And then the problem solving part is very important because आपको हर वक्त पूरी ज़िंदगी में कोई ये नहीं बताएगा कि आपने क्या करना है. And this is something that Atom Camp is doing and others need to step in. So now moving the discussion forward, right, is कि असल सवाल यही है कि yes, हमारे पास डेटा सेंटर्स नहीं हैं, हमारे पास गवर्नमेंट की फंडिंग नहीं है. टू बी ऑनेस्ट, whether there's some people from the government and they may not like it, I don't feel our government has the capacity, the will, or the money or the funds to do any difference, right? So it always, जो मेरी नई थिंकिंग है कि हम सबको एज प्राइवेट एंटरप्रेन्योर एक पैरेलल पाथ खुद बनाना पड़ेगा. और हमने देखा है फैसल की कंपनीज हैव मेड अ बिग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. सो फैसल, कमिंग टू दिस क्वेश्चन कि यहाँ पर जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बैठे हुए हैं जो कुछ करना चाहते हैं, हाउ कैन वी, आपकी एडवाइस क्या होगी? व्हाट कैन दे डू टू बिल्ड अ फ्यूचर? प्रॉब्लम्स हैं और प्रॉब्लम्स रहेंगी. वी कांट एक्सपेक्ट एनीवन टू सॉल्व. सो व्हाट दे कैन डू?
Yeah, so is it working? Okay. So I think with this entire disruptive change, इसके दो पहलू हैं. One is extremely positive, and the other is actually somewhat negative. And I'll take governments into account for the negative side. But coming to, like, let's go on the positive, right? So, like, we're living in the US led financialized system where English is the dominant language, which has become a barrier to entry for, unfortunately, a lot of very intelligent Pakistanis. I mean, I've meet people from all demographics in Pakistan, and which the proverbial Urdu medium, that the term that you use, the intellect there is actually higher, but there's a glass ceiling because until you learn English, you can't get a good job. Well, guess what? Language no longer matters. All empires basically have used language in the past to push their communication, but the reality is now you can have somebody who's illiterate but can now communicate and is naturally has a high IQ, can collaborate with somebody in Brazil leveraging AI, because speech to text and vice versa, and translations in real time. This changes the paradigm.
Model to model ho gaya, so direct audio to audio.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and you experimented with this,
I
right?
experimented with it.
Imagine the creativeness that comes in. I mean, take out books. Like when I was young, I had to go to the library if I had a thought, pull out an index card. You guys are lucky, aapke paas, you have the internet at the touch of a button. And then, it took a lot, the process is a lot longer. So the evolution with which I think ideas and innovation is going to come is going to be unprecedented. I'm literally taking someone from the Amazon in Brazil and taking someone from a remote area in Pakistan, and both individuals could have high IQ and collaborate and create something and solve a problem cross-continental that hasn't happened before, right?
So I think मैं इस discussion को आगे लेकर चलता हूँ वैसे आपकी तरफ. So हम लोग ये realize नहीं करते कि digital economy और internet ने चीजें कितनी आसान कर दी हैं. If you have the skill set today and the willingness to learn, you can go on Upwork today and start landing up a client from abroad. And you can start, and there's so many Pakistanis doing that. Like Pakistan in the freelancers market is doing exceptionally well, right? And then uske alawa, LinkedIn is another platform where I've seen, like, for me personally, when I started my software company, I was like, I've been out of this tech field for a very long time. How am I going to land leads, right? People don't know what I'm doing. And suddenly these two platforms, I thought, worked wonders for me, right? And I think that's true for everyone. So given that technology has opened such platforms, right, where you have global access, जिस तरह फैसल ने कहा, language barrier नहीं रहा. कई दफ़ा लोगों को problem होती थी कि यार अगर मैंने किसी Upwork में या किसी के साथ communication करनी है, मेरी अंग्रेजी अच्छी नहीं है तो शायद वो मुझे chance ना दे. आप you feed that thing into ChatGPT और वो भी free version available है. It makes life very easy. So how do you see, and what would your advice be to these people who are working or who are aspiring to work in this thing? और सवाल वही है कि इस $2 trillion market AI की और tens of trillions dollars की blockchain, Bitcoin की market को हम कैसे कुछ share लेकर जा सकते हैं?
I think that's a very good question. So, Shurima, I'll just give my own example because I'm more comfortable doing that. When I started this company called Ascend Analytics, essentially it was just doing use cases for big data, analytics, data warehousing use cases. Why? Because I was tuned with IBM and Teradata and Oracles of the world, because I had my experience in that. But what I saw was that we weren't really solving any of the problems. I was just one of those people who was doing many of the things that बाकी सारी companies भी कर रही थी. Maybe I was doing it better, but still. So the money part was okay. But what I wanted to really see was कि इस technology के through, how can I use it to solve a common man's problem? Entered DAO PropTech, right? So DAO PropTech के अंदर हम लोगों ने क्या किया? हम लोगों ने सिर्फ asset tokenization की for real world assets, और उसके अंदर से भी हम लोगों ने developmental real estate को पकड़ा. नाउ सिंपल चीज़ ये है कि भाई किसी भी बंदे का प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पे क्या है कि मैंने अगर रियल एस्टेट में जाना, सबसे पहला धोखा होता है, फिर धोखे के साथ डबल सेलिंग होती है, डबल सेलिंग के साथ आपको पता नहीं चलता आपको क्या चीज़ किस डॉक्यूमेंट के अगेंस्ट दे दी हुई. सो वी जस्ट वेंट डाउन टू द वेरी बेसिक लेवल and we started solving that for the masses. We said that we're going to have a platform. That platform is going to be backed by blockchain, which is going to tell you the total supply of the area. Again, कुछ चीज़ें थोड़ी complicated होंगी, but then पूरी developmental वाली side पे एक पूरी building का area है कितना, उसको आप खरीद किस तरह सकते हैं, उसको आप बेच किस तरह सकते हैं, उस पूरी चीज़ को solve किया. Once I solved that, हमारी जो site का plumber था, he invested with us. And then I thought कि that's a breakthrough.
क्या ticket size था उसका, उस investment का?
उसने लगाया था 5 लाख रुपए. उसने अपनी जमा पुश्ती पूरी लगाई थी, बट हमारा जो लोएस्ट टिकट साइज है वो तो 17,000 रुपए है या 15,000 रुपए.
आप इमेजिन कर सकते हैं कि 17,000 रुपए लगाकर आप एक रियल स्टेट प्रोजेक्ट में इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं. दिस हैज बीन एनेबल्ड बाय दिस न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी. तो इसका इम्पैक्ट क्या हो सकता है? जो हम लोग कमेटी पार्टीज का सबको पता है, कमेटीज होती हैं 10,000, 5,000, 20,000. तो सोचे वो इन्वेस्टमेंट अब रियल स्टेट प्रोजेक्ट्स में जा सकती हैं.
So I mean, I don't want to propagate my business over here, but the problem that we saw over here was कि यहाँ पे essentially I put down my mind. So I did a small course on MIT from MIT on real estate as well. So trying to understand the fundamentals of real estate. So going back to the conversation that I had earlier, कि blockchain तो मैंने पढ़ी, but then जिस business के अंदर जाना है उसको भी समझना बहुत ज़रूरी था to be able to come up with a solution which is not just tech but it solves the business problem as well. So you asked कि entrepreneurs क्या कर सकते हैं? Entrepreneurs ये खाली tech के ऊपर तो बिल्कुल भी focus ना करें. Tech हर किसी के पास available है. Research अब हर किसी के पास available है. It's all about the execution, how you implement the whole thing. So you need to think things through.
And what would be your advice on that execution में?
So देखिए सबसे पहले तो break it down to simple steps. जिस वो हमारे अमेरिका में वो एक्रोनिम चलता है किस का ना, क्या ऐसा keep it sweet and simple. So the idea is कि आपने complicate नहीं करना किसी situation को. If there is a problem, try to solve that. If there's no problem, don't try to solve it.
So फिजा मैं अवैस की बात को लेकर आगे चलता हूँ कि जैसा उन्होंने कहा, देखें टेक को हमें कभी भी इतना हाइप नहीं करना चाहिए. टेक इज ऑलवेज एन एनेबलर. इट्स नॉट द एंड गेम, राइट? टेक विल ऑलवेज हेल्प. पहले पर्सनल कंप्यूटर आया तो उसने ऑफिस वर्क को ऑटोमेट कर दिया, फिर इंटरनेट आया और इंटरनेट ने लोगों के लिए काम आसान कर दिया. एंड नाउ वी हैव एआई, राइट? सो व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस दैट यू हैव सीन, लाइक ट्रेनिंग दिस पीपल? एक इस ज़माने में एक बड़ी अच्छी चीज़ हुई कि दुनिया की जितनी भी बड़ी कंपनीज हैं, मेटा हो गया, अमेजोन हो गया, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट हो गया और हजारों स्टार्टअप्स, वो सारे चाह रहे हैं कि लोग ओपन एआई फॉर एग्जांपल चाह रहे हैं कि उनका इकोसिस्टम यूज करें. तो एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट उन्होंने एक चीज जो अच्छी की है कि अपने कोर्सेज और मटेरियल फ्री कर दिया है. बिकॉज जो लोग उस चीज को जब तक समझेंगे नहीं और उनके प्लेटफॉर्म में नहीं आएंगे तो कैसे करेंगे? सो नाउ दैट वी हैव सो मेनी फ्री कोर्सेज एंड सो मच मटीरियल, आप उसको कैसे लेवरेज कर रहे हैं? आपकी एडवाइस क्या होगी कि अगर कोई स्टूडेंट है सीएस का, कंप्यूटर साइंस का, या नहीं भी नॉन सीएस बैकग्राउंड एंड दे वांट टू वेंचर इनटू दिस स्पेस, उनके लिए 2-3 क्या स्टेप्स हैं जो कि उनको अगले 10 सालों के लिए तैयार कर सकते हैं?
ओके, लोडेड क्वेश्चन. इस पे मैं एक बात कहना चाहूँगी कि there are lots of free certifications and a lot of people are also come up to me and say, why do we pay you? For instance, मेरे platform को क्यों pay करेंगे और यहाँ free है? I tell them, what's stopping you? Go ahead and learn from these courses. और फिर जब when in a room full of those students, यूनिवर्सिटीज़ पे मैं होती हूँ usually, that's where I get this. And then I ask them, फिर आप लोगों ने कितनी जो subscription Coursera की ली हुई है, Udemy की ली हुई है, so how many of you actually did manage to complete them? There's hardly 5 to 6% who end up doing it. So एक तो ये है कि we need to localize our trainings. अब इसमें ऑफ कोर्स काफ़ी प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं जो कर रहे हैं. सो आप वो देखें जिसमें यू कैन रिलेट प्रॉपर आपकी लैंग्वेज में आपको बता रहे हैं. लाइक आई सेड, लाइक फैसल साहब सेड, लैंग्वेज इज़ नॉट अ बैरियर एनी मोर. सो ए दैट. बी अनदर क्वेश्चन दैट आई गेट अ लॉट कि अगर हम कंप्यूटर साइंस के, आईटी के, स्टैट्स के स्टूडेंट्स नहीं हैं तो वाई डू वी नीड टू लर्न एआई, और वाई डू यू नीड टू बी डेटा लिटरेट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. एंड माई आंसर ओवर देयर इज़ कि भाई AI is cross-cutting. It's cutting every domain. If you are a doctor, you are education में हैं, आप किस चीज़ में, रियल एस्टेट में अब AI कर लिया है, राइट? सो एनीवेयर यू कैन थिंक इनोवेटिवली, यू कैन डू दैट. सो व्हाई यू, लाइक आई सेड अर्लियर, टेक्निकल बात कम है, जितनी बात ज़्यादा है कि आप अपने दिमाग को किस तरह यूज़ करते हैं इस चीज़ को सॉल्व करने के लिए. 2-3 चीज़ें मैं एक और बोलूँगी क्योंकि आपने फ्रीलांसिंग की भी बात की है. वी नीड टू प्रमोट गिग इकोनॉमी एट लार्ज, क्योंकि द वे इट हैज़ डेमोक्रेटाइज्ड एवरीथिंग. तो इसी तरह जो फ्रीलांसर्स मेनली होते हैं, आप नोटिस करें, वो बन के एंटरप्रेन्योर्स भी बनते हैं. जो जाके इसके पूरे सिस्टम को डेवलप करते हैं. दे कम अप विद इनोवेशंस जो कि आपके लोकल प्रॉब्लम्स रिजॉल्व करते हैं. एक किताब है AI सुपर पावर्स, कैफू ली की, राइट? इट्स अ वेरी फेमस बुक, इट्स इजी टू रीड, आई विल रिकमेंड हर कोई पढ़े थोड़ी सी उसके लिए. एंड द ऑथर सेज इन दिस, देयर आर फोर प्रिंसिपल्स इन विच अ कंट्री you can assess their how prepared they are for AI. So one is talent base, कि आप कितने आपके पास रिसोर्सेज हैं, ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज. एक है आपकी डेटा मैनेजमेंट किस तरह की है, what sort of data you have, what are you collecting, how you're collecting it, how you're using it. Third is your government backed policies. And fourth is entrepreneurship. So all these four, they have to work together for us to grab that. Your main question: how will Pakistan grab that share of 2 billion? How many? 3 billion?
$2 trillion.
$2 trillion dollar,
not
economy,
even billions of dollars.
Right? So you need to have those four things. And I don't even need to tell you where we stand. We talent base में हमने pipelines बनानी है. जो इंडस्ट्री अलाइंड करिकुलम है वासिद, वी नीड टू टीच दैट. आपको मैं बताऊं, सॉरी मैं आपको बताती हूँ, इट्स अ लिटिल डिसहार्टनिंग व्हाट आई एम अबाउट टू से. आई वोंट नेम द यूनिवर्सिटी, बट वेरी टॉप ITCS यूनिवर्सिटी इन इस्लामाबाद. आई वेंट टू मीट देम, और उनका जो CS का डिपार्टमेंट है, वो कहते हैं कि हमारा AI का कोर्स कोई पिछले 4-5 साल से है, एंड इट वाज 10 credit hour कोर्स. लास्ट ईयर आई met them and they said they have reduced it to 6 credit hours. This is ये आपकी हायर क्वालिटी एजुकेशन की सिचुएशन राइट नाउ, वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट. बट लाइक आई सेड, जिस तरह हम लोग बूट कैंप्स कर रहे हैं, बहुत लोग कर रहे हैं, फ्री सर्टिफिकेशंस भी, यूट्यूब पे सब कुछ फ्री मिल जाता है. ऑल आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज HEC विल टेक years टू अपडेट दैट करिकुलम. ये चेंज नहीं होने वाला इतनी जल्दी. इट टेक बोर्ड मीटिंग्स होती है, प्रोसेस होते हैं.
टोटली एग्री करता हूँ कि जैसा मैंने कहा कि एक्सपेक्टिंग द गवर्नमेंट्स टू स्टेप इन, और वी डोंट हैव द कैपेसिटी. एक चीज, चूंकि ये लिटरेचर फेस्टिवल है, तो आपकी बात को लेकर आगे चलूंगा. आपने बड़ी अहम बात की, एंड आई एम ग्लैड यू मेंशन दिस थिंग. यू मेंशन AI सुपर पावर्स, एंड चूंकि लिटरेचर फेस्टिवल है, मैं आप लोगों से एक डेटा पॉइंट शेयर करना चाहूंगा. सो आई वाज ऑलवेज क्यूरियस टू सी कि यार ये दुनिया के जितने सक्सेसफुल लोग हैं, अगर हम उनको एक पैमाने में देख लें कि चलें जी फॉर्चून 100 लोग देख लें, ऑफ कोर्स वन कैन से कि जी और भी डिफरेंट हो सकते हैं मेट्रिक्स, बट लेट्स सी उस पर देखें इन लोगों में कॉमन चीज़ क्या है. क्या ये लोग एक पर्टिकुलर यूनिवर्सिटी से आए हैं, एक पर्टिकुलर बैकग्राउंड से आए हैं, या वो सारे टेक वाले थे, या क्या थे, और व्हाट मेक्स देम स्टैंड अपार्ट. तो मैंने एक कॉमन फैक्टर देखा सबके अंदर, वो ये था कि वो सब के सब किताबें बहुत पढ़ते थे. ठीक है, सो आप जब तक देखें किताबें नहीं पढ़ेंगे, चाहे टेक्नोलॉजी की हैं, चाहे फिक्शन की हैं या कुछ है, तो आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होगी कि दुनिया किस तरफ जा रही है. Elon Musk, one of the greatest entrepreneurs of our times, he credits his success to becoming an avid reader from an early age. So I think क्योंकि लिटरेचर की बात है, तो I think let's also inculcate this habit amongst our kids, the future generation, के आपने क्या करना है. So फैसल आपकी तरफ लेकर चाहूँगा. जो जेनसन हॉन्ग was in India AI summit, and बड़ा ग्रैंड इवेंट हुआ, और India is going really big on AI. अवैस ने मुझसे शेयर किया था कि सऊदी अरेबिया has now announced $100 billion का एक फंड अनाउंस किया है. जहाँ पर हम AI की अच्छी बात करें, हमारे लिए एक लम्हा फिक्रिया भी है, क्योंकि पिछले 10, 15, 20 सालों में इमर्जिंग मार्केट्स के अंदर जितनी भी जो जॉब्स होती थी ना, जहाँ पे उनको लोग नहीं मिलते थे या कॉस्ट उन्हें कट करनी होती थी, कॉल सेंटर्स हो गए, वो अपना सब कुछ पाकिस्तान और इंडिया, ज़्यादातर इंडिया में आउटसोर्स कर देते थे. लेकिन जो मैंने लेटेस्ट AI के साथ एक्सपेरिमेंट किया है और सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप किए है, एक चीज़ तो मुझे बहुत क्लियर है कि कॉल सेंटर्स द वे दे ऑपरेट राइट नाउ, दे फिनिश्ड. they can't survive. After 2 years and all, that's going to be the end of the story. So यहाँ पर mass disruptions भी होंगी. Yes, I believe के साथ साथ बहुत opportunities भी create होंगी, but हमारे लिए लम्हे फिक्रिया ये कि क्या अगर यहाँ पर mass disruptions हो जाती हैं और हम नहीं तैयार कि हमने जो नई jobs create कर रहे हैं हम उसका share ले, तो हमारा तो net gain negative में चला जाएगा. So how do you solve that part? And you have been investing in companies जो कि पाकिस्तान की problems को digitally solve कर रही हैं. आपका क्या advice है?
Yeah, so there's sometimes in life where you can't really give advice because the change is so disruptive in nature that it creates, and these happen every 100 years or so, it creates something called structural unemployment, which means that your particular job no longer exists in the economy. It doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60. The only way to survive is to go back and retool and try to get into a job that works. I think that's about to happen, not in 10 years, but literally in the next 5 to 6 years in Pakistan. And I'll give you a taste of how it's going to happen, right? So today's, let's take Pakistan and unpack how we've structured our society. This is, by the way, a seismic shift in the structure of society. And by the way, I think the lower income demographic is going to benefit far more here. And the demographics that are going to get hurt are the upper demographic and the upper middle demographic because they're too comfortable in their jobs. Now let's unpack those jobs. Anything that's logic-based today, right? And these are jobs everybody wants to be in fields, lawyers, accountants, banking, doctors. These are all jobs that over the span of the next 6 to 10 years will shrink in size. And how will that happen? So once you have a good enough reporting platform, and let's imagine a world where cash is gradually taken away, so a lot of the logging of transactions is digital. So your finance department, let's say if I'm a CEO of a company, and I have 100 people there, once I start using a proper functioning AI use case for Pakistan, which people are working on, I'll probably cut the department down to 50 after a couple of years, then a few more years down to 20, then eventually down to 3 people, and then eventually 0 people. So there'll be a massive structural change happening and people looking for jobs, and those jobs won't really exist in the market. Same thing will happen with OPD doctors. I mean, it's really just basic logic. You cough, the person guesses some symptoms, and prescribes medication. That's already this companies like Era doing.
फैसल अजीब सी बात है कि लोग कह रहे हैं कि सबसे बड़ी disruption programmers की होगी, technology field में होगी. So Google CEO was saying कि now at Google 25% of the code is written by AI. At my company as well, like one of the things that I look for is that क्या आप लोग GitHub Copilot को या ChatGPT को use करते हो कि नहीं? If somebody comes to me and they don't use it, it's a negative because see, if you have a tool, you need to use it. And so Jensen Huang की जो मैं बात कर रहा था ना, one of the things that he said, like jobs displaced होंगी, and people are saying कि AI is going to take over everything. You have
20 year back.
Yeah, so
that's what governments.
Our views are different on that. Like I'm a protagonist on this, and he's an antagonist.
So
on that,
I will say on the negative side of AI, जो मेरा issue है इसके साथ, देखिए the current order we're living in was determined by who first split the atom, created a bomb, and then used the bomb to then assert power. So my main concern, which is happening with the US and China, is that it's not the individual use cases. It's the fundamental government use case of it that I think is more nefarious.
So it's the scary thing that he kind of mentions here. But so Jensen Huang से सवाल पूछा कि AI आपको replace कर देगी, तो उसने कहा कि AI yes will replace people, most of you in your current form, right? किसी शख्स की 20% टास्क को ऑटोमेट कर सकती है, शायद आपकी 50% टास्क को ऑटोमेट कर सकती है, शायद फॉर अवेस मे बी दे कैन ऑटोमेट 70% of the task, right? But who will really replace you is not AI, but the person who knows how to use AI better than you. Companies will go bankrupt, those who do not use AI. It's not like suddenly AI is going to take over everything, because at the end of the day, you or your company would be running AI. So I think let's start with some questions from the audience as well. Yeah, please, absolutely.
So, सिर्फ आखिरी एक दो कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं जिसके अंदर आई एम श्योर काफ़ी सारी ऑडियंस आई थी ये भी सुनने के लिए, कोई आइडिया भी बताएं यहाँ पे एआई के ऊपर क्या कर सकते हैं. सो सम ऑफ दीज थिंग्स जो मैंने सोची थी, एंड आई थिंक मैं और बासित इसके ऊपर डिस्कशन भी कर रहे थे. One of the biggest things for anybody who's looking to work in AI is service as a software. Not software as a service, but service as a software, which is directly relatable to what Faisal Bhai was just saying. ठीक है, essentially I'm not going to try to explain what it is, but whoever is interested, please do research. That's the top thing. So if you want to work on that, definitely you'll be making money over there. For literary purposes, यहाँ पे अभी मेरे पिछले दिनों एक छोटा सा स्कूल है, उससे मेरी बात हो रही थी, and हम लोगों ने एक इंग्लिश का टेस्ट प्रिपेयर किया था फॉर स्टूडेंट्स के आई थिंक क्लास 1-2 के बच्चे थे, उनके लिए, या शायद 5 के बच्चे थे, जिनके हम लोगों ने एसेस लिखने थे और एसेस को ग्रेड करना था. The teachers that I was talking to about, they were like, नहीं, ये तो बच्चे बैठ के देख के इसको कॉपी कर सकते. I was like, this is not designed for the kids. This is for your teachers. अगर आपने एक टीचर को हायर करना है जिसने अगलों को पढ़ाना है, तो she needs to or he needs to pass this test at day one, you know, and then AI is the best way for you to test. वो rudimentary तरीके कि जी मैं एक क्लास लूंगी, उसके बाद देखूंगा कि भी चलती है कि नहीं चलती, that's gone. You know, you can't really do that anymore.
So I think very quickly, Fiza, like, you know, education की हम बात करें, in a minute, what's the fundamental shift that's required in our current system? और मैं एक last चीज़ आपको इसी 30 seconds के अंदर आपने बताना है कि हम लोगों को जो advice देना चाह रहे हैं, you know, to create the next $100 million company out of Pakistan, what are the key steps that need to take?
Well, I have one in mind, और वो कर लें. अब ट्रेडिशनल वे ऑफ जॉब्स जा रही हैं, वी हैव ऑल अंडरस्टूड दैट. सो एजुकेशन में क्या चीज़ है जो हम कर सकते हैं टू यू नो फॉर, ताकि ग्रेजुएट्स डिसहार्ट ना हो. हाउ अबाउट हम 4 ईयर की डिग्री है, 5 ईयर की डिग्री है, हम 1-2 साल, 1 year max, we teach them basics and then let the students work on Gen AI. Why are you not letting them be creative, make innovative solutions out of it? 3 saal, imagine 3 years students working in groups, working on projects, building up innovative solutions for any sort of problem that you have over localized context में बनाएंगे. Imagine what level of innovation that will bring.
Excellent. I totally believe कि जब तक आप उनको उधर
कोड लिखना ना सिखाएं, आप उनको सिखाएंगे
प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग तो सिखाएं. असल चीज प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग है. सो और हम लोग सोचते हैं कि आपको एआई आनी चाहिए और तभी आप कुछ कर सकते हो. एट द हार्ट ऑफ इट द बिजनेस इज स्टिल अ बिजनेस, और बिजनेस वो सक्सेसफुल होता है जो कि एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करता है. एआई और ब्लॉकचेन और बिटकॉइन, दीज कुड बी द enablers for that, but if the problem is not there, then it won't solve it. So we're going to take some questions for the audience. So let's start from the gentleman here.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Imad Mehman. I just wanted to correct Dr. Basit that government is not taking any interest. I'm a member international coordination at Ministry of IT and Telecom, and we are trying our best to create more opportunities for our youth. And just wanted to let everyone know that the Prince of Saudi Arabia and also the ruler of Qatar have requested personally to our Prime Minister to send more and more AI literate people or manpower to those countries because they need them. So we are in the process of training and we need ideas from all of you how we can achieve that.
No, so I'll just say that, you know, I never said that the government is not doing anything. All I said was that, you know, I still have big capacity concerns about that.
Enough.
And I would just one request, right? You know, आप सब हमारा इंटरनेट का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर दें. We would not be asking you for anything else. So another question, there's the gentleman there with the mask, please. Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashfaq. जितनी मैंने डिस्कशन सुनी है वो AI और टेक्नोलॉजी की एप्लीकेशंस और फ्यूचर फाइनेंस, हेल्थ केयर, एवरीथिंग, और फिर ग्रेजुएट लेवल पे कोर्सेज और सारा कुछ है. और मैडम ने कुछ बात की थी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स और लॉजिकल थिंकिंग और ट्रेनिंग की, तो वो तो पहली जमात से शुरू हो जानी चाहिए. जो हमारे बच्चे बेसिक मैथ फंक्शन नहीं सीख सकते या कर सकते, या इंग्लिश का ट्रांसलेशन उर्दू के जुमले में नहीं कर सकते, और बहुत सारी ऐसी तादाद है, और बहुत सारे बच्चे स्कूलों से बाहर हैं करोड़ों की तादाद में. तो उसके लिए आप लोगों ने अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो करिकुलम को बहुत बेसिक लेवल से, जहाँ से, बिकॉज आई अंडरस्टैंड कि AI इज़ ऑल अबाउट मैथमेटिक्स एंड स्टैट्स, तो अगर वो आप बेसिक पहली या दूसरी जमात तक नहीं लेके आएंगे तो इतनी बड़ी मार्केट को कैप्चर करना. तो
Excellent question. I'll have one of Fiza and Faisal. Please take a crack
Faisal,
at
you want
it.
to go ahead?
So I feel the academic system itself needs to be rehauled. It was trained for the industrial age, and it was designed to compartmentalize, not, you know, really shut down logic. And if you're in the accounting department, it doesn't matter what the finance department is doing, for example, right? So these are things that I think fundamentally this education system has to be rehauled. For Pakistan particularly, I would kind of disagree that it's not just about mathematics and logic. I think that you're looking at the first Atari stage of AI right now, let's say the 70s in video gaming, or 80s. This is going to leapfrog every 18 months into a 2x capacity because under Moore's law, everything doubles. The UIs, user interfaces जो आपको मिलेंगे future में, वो इतने आसान होंगे कि you're sitting here right now, let's say you have an idea, and it's literally like your wish is my command. You communicate, you say, I want to build a platform that serves people.
वो भी पंजाबी या उर्दू में बोल दे, वो किसी भी ज़बान में बोल दे, किसी डायलेक्ट में बोल दे कि मैं करना चाहता हूँ, वो आपको उसके मुताबिक बता देगा.
Steps बता देगा. अब try it with Meta. Just come up with a plan and it'll give you जो आपने सारी search करनी थी सारा कुछ within a span of 5 minutes. Probably condenses the work of 40 hours.
और जो आपकी एजुकेशन का प्लान है ना, मैं उसमें फिजा जो खान एकेडमी भी कर रही है, मे बी यू कैन मेंशन हाउ दे यूजिंग एआई टू हेल्प ट्रेन टीचर. एंड आई थिंक ये बड़ा मोन्यूमेंटल एक बहुत मोमेंट है कि हमारे यहाँ एक प्रॉब्लम होती है कि हमारे स्पेशली चलो शहरों में तो कुछ टीचर्स आपको मिल जाएंगे, गाँव देहातों में टीचर्स की क्वालिटी नहीं है वैसी, और वहाँ पर एआई कैन प्ले अ वेरी बिग रोल.
Definitely. Abhi West was talking about the tutor. Abhi, please look it up. There is a Stanford Research Center ने tutor बनाया, FEV tutor, FEV tutor, and that's exactly for this solution जो problem that you mentioned कि वो underqualified या uninterested teachers है in areas में, and how can AI ये नहीं है, AI ये नहीं है कि वो स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ाए, वो AI ये है कि उन टीचर्स को बताए कि किस तरह उन स्टूडेंट्स को how they teach them, how can the teacher be better at training all of this. But आपके सवाल के दो तीन पहलू हैं. एक तो ये है कि अब schools में they have understood the importance of these things, logical thinking and कोडिंग एज वेल. तो अभी काफ़ी नॉट मॉन्टेसरी बट प्राइमरी स्कूल से कोडिंग के सब्जेक्ट्स एंड एवरीथिंग मैथ वगैरह स्टार्ट हो गई है. लेकिन एक और चीज़ मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगी, हम जिस लेवल पे, फॉर इंस्टेंस मैं अपनी एक्सपीरियंस से ही बात कर सकती हूँ, हम जिस लेवल के वर्क फोर्स को ट्रेन करते हैं, अपस्किल करते हैं एआई में, और लाइक आई सेड कि हम सॉफ्ट स्किल्स और प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट भी सिखाते हैं इसमें. अ लॉट ऑफ कोर्स अ बिग चंक ओवर देयर इज कम्युनिकेशन एंड हाउ टू टॉक एंड हाउ टू बी इन दिस एनवायरनमेंट. लेकिन एक जो एनालिसिस है विच वी हैव डन इनसाइड आवर टीम इज़ दैट हम लोग उस बंदे का कुछ बिगाड़ सकते हैं फॉर जो कसर रहेगी है 5, 6, 8 साल की मैक्स. बट अगर किसी स्टूडेंट की बेसिक्स या फाउंडेशन ही अनफॉर्चुनेटली स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं है, वी कैन नॉट एक्चुअली डू एनीथिंग अबाउट इट. इसके लिए 2-3 रिकमेंडेशंस हैं. फर्स्ट व्हाट बासित सेड इज दैट कंटिन्यूस लर्निंग, कंटिन्यूस अपस्किलिंग, एंड दैट इज वेयर प्लीज रीड एंड लिसन. इफ यू डू नॉट लाइक टू रीड, वॉच गुड हेल्पफुल वीडियोज़ जिससे आपको कंटेंट, जो लर्निंग कंटेंट है आपका गेन हो रहा हो, इससे आपका दिमाग खुलेगा एंड यू विल बी एबल टू रियली लुक आउटसाइड ऑफ द बॉक्स.
Okay, guys, क्योंकि there are a lot of people with questions, we're going to make a very quick answer. So there's a gentleman there. Yes, there.
Domain specialists need to learn AI, or AI specialists need to learn a bit of domains?
Okay, I will take another question at the same time. So yeah, the lady here in the second row, please. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So Wes, you're going to do this domain specialist, and I'm going to take 3 questions so we can, the lady here too, quickly, ताकि we can, and then we have this handsome man here in the third row. We're going to take a question from him, a very dear friend here.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Shajia, and I'm a law practitioner and also an artist and a content creator. I have a lot of questions with like AI and because I want to learn a lot. But what I'm going to do is just touch one thing. Just give me a second. So what I want to know is, as a legal practitioner, like what are the challenges you are facing in your companies, and what do you think legal framework can help you with? What we as new legal practitioners should work on learning on AI, and how can we help you with that?
Okay, we'll take that. And the third question from the gentleman in the third row. Yes, with the glass. Legal वाला आपका, legal वाला मैं भी कर सकता हूँ, आप वो पहले वाला. हाँ, yeah.
Well, thank you, Dr. Saab. क्या हाल है आपकी? Just a very practical question. You all have done something or some thinking on how to deploy, how to launch AI in some useful form in Pakistan. So what do you think is one most impactful area or service that can demonstrate both to the government and the business people and everybody alike the impact and utility of AI and the money that can be made out of this? So across the government, industry, wherever. So just one simple thing where we start from and everybody can see that it's good.
Okay. Wes, first question, domain specific या AI specific?
So देखिए डोमेन स्पेसिफिक जो सवाल था आपका ना सबके लिए उनका सवाल ये था कि भाई क्या आपको डोमेन स्पेसिफिक होकर एआई को इस्तेमाल करना है या एआई स्पेसिफिक होकर आपको डोमेन को इस्तेमाल करना है. सो वन थिंग दैट आई हैव लर्नड इज दैट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि एआई किस डोमेन में आपने इस्तेमाल करनी है. ठीक है. AI goes across all domains, right? आप अपनी niche identify करें, अपनी niche के अंदर देखें कि भी where does AI fit in, rather than doing the other way around, because other way around तो फिर पूरी दुनिया ही खुल जाती है. जो आपका लास्ट का सवाल था उसका भी मैं एक simple answer is just do community policing on AI. If you can do that, community policing के अंदर से आप government का problem भी solve करें, society का problem भी solve करें, and you'll definitely be able to make a lot of money on that as well. I'll pause.
Okay, Faisal, on the legal question. So सवाल ये था कि legal practitioners के लिए AI क्या role play कर सकती है?
So there's a...
And you invested in one of the legal startups.
I did.
So that's
why I forget what that company is called that's doing all the cases, कौन सी rulings आती हैं, Pakistan law.
Yeah.
So basically there's... I mean, in legal tech, it's highly applicable. Everything from writing motions and condensing down case law of a particular country. So what people are tackling today is taking all the existing case law, building it on top of OpenAI, and then basically the research work for a lawyer goes down from 40 hours down to like minutes, because they're ensuring that the case laws are updated instantaneously once they're posted on the register of the respective website. So this is, to me, this can be a profound change. Obviously, it's disruptive because if I'm, let's say, Heather Mota, I'll probably have less people working in the law firm. So there's obviously other impact of this.
And I think time बहुत बचता है. AI के जो सबसे बड़ी usefulness है कि वो आपका काम जो कि एक महीने में होगा वो शायद आप एक दिन में कर सकते हैं. मुदस्सिर साहब ने कहा कि क्या चीज़ है जो आप use case दिखा सकते हैं. So to me the most important thing is कि education sector के अंदर, and education is a great equalizer. हम एक पुराने ज़माने के एजुकेशन सिस्टम में चल रहे हैं कि एक टीचर है, क्लास में 30 स्टूडेंट्स हैं, वो सबको एक ही टीचर पढ़ा रहे हैं एक ही स्टाइल के अंदर. आज हम जब मूवीज़ देखने नेटफ्लिक्स पे जाते हैं तो आपकी फीड और मेरी फीड अलग होती है, बिकॉज आपका इंटरेस्ट अलग है. फेसबुक की फीड आपकी और इंस्टाग्राम की फीड हम सब की अलग है. पर्सनलाइजेशन, AI कैन एनेबल दैट थिंग एट मैस स्केल. सो दैट कुड बी अनदर थिंग दैट वी कुड डू. सो लास्ट 2 questions quickly and then we'll wrap it up. How do I, so the gentleman here. Okay, just last 2 questions quickly. Okay. And then we'll have one question here. So, yeah.
Some time ago, I read the US में middle school में ऐसे assignments हो रहे हैं where they give problems and they say कि design AI to solve the problem. So for that to happen, what can the schools do to make that happen so that एक दफ़ा होगा तो उसकी demand खुद ही generate हो जाएगी? What can be done and how should it be done?
Okay, and the last question here quickly ताकि हम एक ही दफ़ा ले लें.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, thank you all for your discourse. I just wanted to really quickly ask, sir, where we have spoken at length about the fact that AI is revolutionary in sort of streamlining a certain explorative process, there's something to be said about the fact that it has mitigated a very the human need to explore itself. I sort of focus on the educational sector in particular, where masses of graduates are sort of relying on AI to do the heavy lifting for them. There's a difference between the time cut in hours of research and logical, critical, original thoughts.
Perfect. Fiza, very quickly, do you think AI is doing the heavy lifting of the intellectual stuff, or is it just doing the mundane tasks? I tend to think that way, that it's just heavy lifting the mundane tasks that you really doesn't require, and then I'll come to Fiza.
देखिए, AI is doing what you want it to do. Essentially, क्या एक dumb machine है उसको आप सिखा रहे हैं. तो आपके ऊपर है वो आप उसे कितना सिखा रहे हैं और कितना इंटेलिजेंट बना रहे हैं. करेक्ट, दैट इज़ एसेंशली व्हाट इट इज़. उनका जो सवाल था कि एजुकेशन में किस तरह ला सकते हैं, there's lots of schools, of course, in the West who are already doing it. What you can do is आप early level पे logical thinking, problem solving सिखाएं. Coding की practices already start हो चुकी हैं, so please keep on doing that. Generally learning culture बनाएं, tech की तरफ जाएं. Make people understand how to think innovatively. I really emphasize on it. Understand what is innovation and how your children can, think like that.
I'll just add one thing. हम सबको फिनलैंड का एजुकेशन सिस्टम स्टडी करना चाहिए, जो कि अर्ली स्टेजेस से ही एक तो टीम बिल्डिंग और प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग. देखिए, AI is a tool, problem solving, and then so thank you guys. Our time is up. Thank you for a great discussion here.